Whoop, whoop. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
Today, the police will kill 3 people. And tomorrow, the police will kill 3 people. And the day after that, the police will kill 3 people because, on average, the police in America every day kill 3 people, which amounts to about 1,000 people a year.
The next day.
What was that? Jesus. Lines, embarrass yourself like that in front of all those people. That's it. That's it.
Yikes. Well, the Oscars were a predictable disaster last night, even after making sure they booted a encampment of the homeless so they could host their decadent event. The reviews are in, the ratings are in. It would appear that there is more than a 50% drop in viewership this year. Who could have foreseen this? Now, this via the New York Post. You see, LA's homeless reportedly booted from encampment before Oscars ceremony. The city of Los Angeles already kicked homeless people out of an encampment next to this year's Academy Awards venue to present a, quote, glitzy image while in the national spotlight. According to a report Sunday, scores of homeless people, many living in tents near Union Station building in downtown LA, were allegedly threatened in order to leave in the days leading up to the star-studded event, according to Fox 11 LA. They came to us a week ago saying we had to move by Friday at 6 p.m. because they were trying to, quote, clean up for the Oscars. They told us if we didn't move, they were going to demolish our stuff and that if you have warrants, we're going to take you to jail. Some homeless folks were relocated to a nearby hotel in an effort to clean up the area's look before Tinseltown A-listers flocked to the 93rd Annual Academy Awards, which will be held Sunday at Union Station. Quote, they're coming and harassing us 3-4 times a day. They forced us to go to the Grand Hotel on 3rd and Figueroa and kicked everyone out of Union Station so it looks better for the image. DJ had been living on 101 Freeway Overpass, 1 block from Union Station, an area for months, and has been for an area that's been plagued by homelessness, according to the station. Homeless rights activists said the city has a history of sweeping the problem under the rug. Obviously, just look at your leadership. I was taken aback by the report, but we have a history in LA. That's what's led to a place called Skid Row. Andy Bales, the homeless advocacy group, the Union Rescue Mission, said the city's a notoriously dilapidated and drug-ridden tent colony. Bales in LA have been faking glamorous image when at the center of a major national events for decades, including when the Pope came to the city in 1987. I mean, is anybody surprised? Seriously, is anybody surprised by this? This coming from a ceremony that opened up with Regina King making a, quote, epic entrance and explaining, starting the show off with mask protocol. I mean, who doesn't want to discuss that, of course? We're rolling masks off, and that's not rolling masks, and we're not rolling masks on. Regina King outlines her protocols, the protocols for the night, because I mean, Hollywood actors and actresses, they don't actually want to live by the same rules that they want you to live by or do the same things that you want or that they tell you to do. And that's exactly what most people have figured out. Quite frankly, I would say that the average American now sees what a vapid waste Hollywood decadence is, what a hilarious hypocrisy or hypocritical environment that it is. They see that they're looking down on the plebs like they always do. And the lockdowns proved that. I mean, we saw that hilarious, remember Gal Gadot's Imagine video, or Madonna taking a bath in like milk, or Ellen DeGeneres talking about how living in her, $100 million compound felt like a prison. There were a lot of Hollywood celebs that were really caught showing their rear over the past couple of months. And I love it. I'm here for it. And if the box office were still the same, if theaters were still operating like normal or the old normal, we would be seeing massive Hollywood failures. I am absolutely certain of that. We can look at the Oscars ranking tanking massively. Just as Outkick predicted, the 93rd Academy Awards ceremony tanked to unimaginable lows. The 2021 Oscars fell more than 50% year over year in overnight ratings. Outkick has learned. Here's a sample from the past few years. So in 2019, there was 21.6 million viewers, then 18.1 million viewers in 2020, and this year just 8.9. Last week, an Oscars producer who spoke on the condition of anonymity told the New York Times data found that minute-by-minute post-show ratings analysis indicated that vast swaths of people turned off their televisions when celebrity started to opine on politics. Who could have imagined that regular, everyday Americans that like to take a minute away from their daily grind and enjoy a little glitz and glamour and their favorite actor wouldn't like them injecting politics? Look, I don't want to hear from Leonardo DiCaprio, who took a private jet to the event, about environmental issues. And more and more people are finding out about this kind of stuff, and it's great. So, of course, there was no different with Hollywood elites injecting progressive politics into many lines as possible. Regina King, who directed this year's Oscar-nominated film One Night in Miami, used her stage time to tell the world, or at least the few who were watching, that if there wasn't a conviction on all 3 counts, she would have traded her heels in for marching boots. We know that, of course, is hilariously incorrect. She would not have been out on the streets. How is that? Award shows are already hemorrhaging viewers between cord cutting and industry nominating films no normal human would spend a dime to watch. Ratings for the Oscars crashed 44% between 2014 and 2020. Hollywood isn't exactly a brand that can afford to tell half of the country that it's awful, yet it does so anyway. A ratings collapse expected, but still staggering to see in print. Well, ultimately, when you look at some of the things that they were talking about at the Oscars last night, I don't care. Like, I don't want to hear any more about doom and gloom. I don't know at what point Hollywood started to think we cared about their politics. Maybe it's because, I don't know, maybe it's because I've only been following Hollywood for a short period of time, but it feels like this is a relatively new thing. You see on entertainment, Oscars hit another historic low in ratings. The scaled down show honored movies that most people haven't even seen, including the Best Picture, Nomadland. Well, this bounces back exactly to Bill Maher's monologue, or whatever, his I think it was a New Rule segment, where he talked about that there's a reason people want to go see Mortal Kombat and Godzilla vs. Kong. Yes, they have their fans, they have their fandoms, of course, but they also don't want all these depressing, look how good you have it, look how terrible they have it, self-congratulating films. Nobody cares about that. It's called the entertainment industry for a reason. There's a reason that I tell people, look, Nobody, the film with, why can't I think of his name? Odenkirk, Bob Odenkirk, was awesome. Yeah, I think if I were fairly rating it in like a in a normal environment, it's like a budget John Wick. But it was so refreshing to just see a movie that was full of entertainment and action without any pretense, not trying to make me feel bad, just trying to entertain. So like my new standard, this movie is a hard 8, even an 8.5, because it was just nice to just turn off my brain for a little bit. And look, I went to the theater to see it because I wanted to support a film that was like, an actual action flick that wasn't trying to make have a message. And I'm not saying Hollywood isn't allowed to put messaging in their films. I mean, they've done this for years. I'm not going to pretend that they haven't been. And those films have a time and a place. There are times that I want to watch a documentary, or there are times I want to watch kind of a melancholy movie. There are a lot of films like that. But I don't want only that. These are films that people talk about but don't actually see. They're like, did you see how sad this movie was? Oh yeah, it was really appalling. But they aren't enjoying it. They aren't having fun. If somebody tells me, hey, I went to the theater this week and I saw this really depressing film about a washing machine repairman who loses it all, I'd be like, wow, awesome. Not going to spend 2 hours watching that. You could see here in the entertainment, wasn't enough to interest you. ABC's telecast of the 93rd Academy Awards followed up last year's all-time low in viewership by attracting even fewer eyeballs than before. Nielsen reports only 9.85 million viewers tuned in to the awards. Now, Outkick was probably early numbers, so these are the official numbers. It was down more than 13 million viewers tuned out. Hostless telecasts that featured Parasite as the night's big winner, 23.6 million viewers. Think about that. They lost 13 million viewers in a year. ABC went down the host-free Oscars in 2019, which at that time seemed like a novel approach. Close to 30 million people tuned in to see Green Book win Best Picture of the Year. But it may be time to bring back Chris Rock or even Billy Crystal. Last night's telecast was achingly laugh-free, save for Close's Booty Bop and Daniel Kaluuya's public appreciation of his parents doing the hibbity-dibbity, giving how the lockdowns made it challenging for studios to distribute their movies. The Hollywood reports that Nomadland hasn't even grossed $3 million at the box office, and no one knows how it's done on Hulu. Viewers needed more of a reason to care about this crop of nominees. More like crap. Am I right, friends? But no movie clips aired during last night's show, which was one of the chief complaints in EW critics Darren Farrick's review, which gave the telecast a B-. Here's how last night's show ranks versus previous years. 23.6 million viewers in 2020, down to 9.8 million. That is a massive embarrassment, and I couldn't be happier for it. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.